No jock in health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the kings rouse, the heavens shall burst again, bespeaking earthly thunder. Come away, let us get ready.
Every time Denmark celebrates today, the cannons will boom so loud, the heavens will echo with the sound. Let the whole world hear our joy. Now let us go. Attend me as I prepare myself.
Get ready with me to go see my mom and her new husband, who is also my uncle. Yes, my life is kind of a disaster.
That this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew.
I literally wish I could just evaporate and not have to deal with this today.
Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon, gained self-slaughter.
I swear, like, the only reason I'm still even here is because God said suicide is a sin.
Oh God! God!
Like, OMG!
How weary and stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world.
Seriously, everything just feels boring, pointless, and draining. I swear, nothing has any meaning anymore.
Once at fire, 'tis an unweeded garden that grows the seed. Things rank and gross in nature, possesses it merely.
My life is a gross, uncontrolled garden. Do you see my hair right now? Everything is messy and just out of control.
That it should come to this.
Like, how did we even get here?
But 2 months dead. Nay, not too much. Not two.
Because seriously, my dad just died. It hasn't even been like 2 months.
So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion, to a satyr.
My dad, an absolute king. My uncle, on the other hand, oh my god, not even close.
So loving to my mother.
Like, he literally loved my mom so much.
That he might not beteem the winds of heaven. Visit her face too roughly.
They were literally relationship goals. My dad treated her just like a fragile little thing. Like, the wind shouldn't even mess up her beautiful face.
Heaven and earth, must I remember?
Dear God, why do I have to keep remembering this?
Why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on.
No, because she literally just clung to him. Like she was getting more and more into him the more she fed off of him.
And yet, within a month...
And yet, she remarried in less than 2 months.
And let me not think on't. Thy name is woman.
Honestly, I just think it's because women are so weak.
A little month, or ere those shoes were old.
And when I say, I mean it hasn't even been a month, I mean her shoes weren't even worn out yet.
With which she followed my poor father's body.
I mean, they were the same exact shoes she wore when she was walking behind my dad's dead coffin.
Like Nubby, all tears.
And she was being so fake too, crying non-stop, being so dramatic. It was full on waterfall vibes. Like, girl, seriously, we all know you're lying.
Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discoursed of reason would have mourned longer.
And it's just like she, of all people. Because even an animal would have just mourned longer than she did.
Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more than my father than I to Hercules.
She married my uncle. Like, that's my dad's brother. But the craziest part is he's nothing like my dad. Not even close. About as similar as I am to Hercules.
Within a month.
And finally, let's just keep in mind that this was all within a month. Stay mad, y'all.
The first line that states, oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew.
Basically, it shows Hamlet's early on depression and how he just actually wants to kill himself. It's showing a clear example of suicide.
The second line, or or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter.
Basically shows how Hamlet feels that his religion has trapped him and that he can't escape even through death because it's against his religion.
The next line, "Oh God, God,"
is literally Hamlet calling out for help, but no one is listening to him.
The next line that says, "How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world,"
basically translate to how Hamlet feels like everything is pointless and the world has no meaning anymore after losing his father.
The next line, "'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed, things rank and gross in nature, possesses it merely,"
is literally an exact metaphor for how Hamlet's worldview is starting to rot based on his grief and depression.
The next line, "That it should come to this,"
is just him confused on how everything got to this point.
"But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2.
is basically Hamlet's mind confusing like the date that his father passed away. He thinks that it's been 2 months or not even 2 months. He just feels like everything's happening too quickly.
So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr."
A Hyperion is a sun god and a satyr is a gross goat man. So Hamlet's showing a big contrast between his dad and his uncle, showing how like his mom went from someone so great to someone who was disgusting.
"So loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly,"
shows how Hamlet idolized his parents' marriage, and his mother's quick remarriage basically feels like a betrayal to his father and Hamlet as well, because his father was so gentle and protective to her.
The next line, "Heaven and earth must I remember,"
is basically Hamlet saying that this situation is just too much for him to take. He's calling out for help on why he has to keep remembering this, that even thinking about it is unbearable pain.
"She would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on."
And this is kind of Hamlet using like sexual imagery to show his like disgust and obsession with his mom's own sexuality, which reveals his fixation on their marriage and his growing misogyny.
The line, "And yet within a month,"
basically shows how Hamlet feels that his mother's love was just fake, and it destroys his trust in her and honestly in all women in general.
The next line, "Frailty, thy name is woman."
This line reveals Hamlet's misogyny that is deeply rooted in his parents' failed relationship.
"A little month or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body,"
is basically just Hamlet explaining how close his father's death was to his mother's remarriage.
The line, "Like Nobby, all tears,"
is just Hamlet saying how she was being super dramatic, like she was kind of playing it up how sad she was.
"Why she, even she,"
Hamlet saying how he's shocked that his mother would be acting like this.
"O God, a beast that once discourse of reason."
He's basically saying how his mom's behavior isn't even animalistic because animals mourn longer than she did.
"Married with my uncle,"
is just Hamlet reminiscing over the fact that his mom married his uncle, and it's still kind of all in disbelief to him. We can see how he's still processing it.
"But no more like my father than I to Hercules,"
is Hamlet finally giving an explanation of how dramatic that this change was from marrying his father to his uncle, just showing that like they're nothing alike as Hamlet comparing himself to Hercules, which is a clear difference.